Hi everybody, thanks for joining me in this user conference session. My name is Christian Arntsen. I'm one of the product managers here at foreUP Golf, and I'm excited to talk with you today about a feature that I was personally involved with over the last year and a half, which is the subscription model within golf. Really tying that back to how you can have a more predictable revenue stream for your operation. I think given the last year, we can all agree that predictable revenue would be pretty stellar, and any opportunity to take advantage of that would be ideal. So let's just jump right in and tackle this. So first, I'd like to point out that there are two important numbers when it comes to your golfers. The first is going to be A, the number of rounds that they are playing at your golf course, and B, the number of rounds they play total, whether it's at your course or all courses. So we're going to be talking about this in terms of that all golfers want to be better at golf. And I don't think anybody would disagree that the better they get at golf, the more they play. So the better they are at golf, the more the B number increases. So the question arises is, how do we help golfers to play better? And I'm going to explain how our subscription model really can kind of drill into that and help you as an operation to help develop better golfers while collecting money. So we're going to be a really cool opportunity. Let's take a side step from there and talk about your golf course and some high level understanding that that all golf courses have some form of distressed inventory, whether it's low occupancy, be it on a Tuesday afternoon. Every course is unique, and every course knows what those distressed inventory times are. Typically, we see a course that has distressed inventory turn to a third-party marketplace to help offset that inventory, to sell it, to fill those times in. But we all know the shortcomings and the traps associated with that. You lose ownership of your customers. They're not somebody you can market to in the future without collecting their data. Honestly, some customers will only visit your course if there is a deal going on a third-party marketplace. So we want to make sure that you're capturing those customers and maximizing the amount of times they're coming in to your facility. Third, most clubs don't have a highly utilized ancillary revenue streams. Every course I've been to has some form of clinic, be it lessons, or every course I've ever visited has had a range. How can we also incentivize people to start using those as well? Because as we know here, if somebody plays better at golf, they're going to play more. So how can we kind of wrap this all into a single experience and make sure that all of that's happening at your facility so you can drive up revenue? And that's what I'm really passionate about. I really am excited to help golf courses be more operationally efficient and make more money. It's exciting, and we've seen this platform do that time and time again, and that's why I'm very passionate about it. So, two, let's talk about why subscription models for you. The foreUP subscription model really seeks to package the underperforming areas of your operation into a product that a member was going to pay for monthly. The monthly fees, dues, cost, it becomes a weatherproof revenue stream for you, which is really awesome because we all know that when a thunderstorm rolls in, nobody's golfing, and that is lost revenue. But if a customer is paying for a monthly subscription, then is it lost revenue? And the answer is no. And that's what we're aiming for. And I know that that's a very simple oversimplification where it's just a rainstorm, but really think about the gym model. If every single customer showed up to the gym, there wouldn't be room to fill everybody. And that's what we've seen is true for the golf industry as well. So let's talk about that weatherproof revenue. As a customer signs up for a subscription, it kind of builds up a sense of loyalty with your course. Why would I ever go to course B if I have a subscription that provides me benefits to visit course A, which is your course? And that's what we want. Perhaps this subscription provides that user or that golfer with free golf clinics. And that's just a bonus of the benefit of the subscription. They're never going to go anywhere else to get those lessons because they get them with you, increasing that A and B number, which is what we're really aiming to do. So the subscription model, it really can turn what would be a customer that maybe comes to your facility once every quarter and spends $100 a year, to a customer that may be coming once a week, 2 times a week, more. And while they're there, they're buying buckets of balls, they're spending money in your pro shop, they're buying food, and it's a win-win for all parties. It becomes an experience, if you will, which is what everybody wants to have when they visit any operation or business. So whenever the system can talk about a win-win, that's what we really want. So just to kind of, touch on those notes is, we want you to take ownership over the underperforming areas of your golf course. 2, monthly revenue does not care about the weather. 3, we want to create a sense of belonging for your golfers. Increase that A and B number, and reduce the dependency on third-party marketplaces. So we've talked about, well, yeah, this all sounds really great in theory, but how in the world do I possibly do that? For your operation to really get the full benefit of a subscription, you're going to have access to the passes module, which every golf course in foreUP has, and our billing module, which courses can opt in for through their account managers. Passes is where you are going to go to manage the benefits, the rules, and the conditions associated with your subscription. We're talking timeframes, dates, total uses, what items they get if they come in during certain time periods. All of that will be controlled via the pass. But in order a pass can be just sold, but we're talking about taking that to the next level where we're providing a subscription. We're talking monthly dues, billing, auto payments, automated reminders, cancellations. That would all be managed within our Billing Premier module, where you manage the actual subscription. So these 2 pieces combined really give you the opportunity to create the subscription package that you want. So let's talk about passes a little bit. I'm going to kind of go over a high-level overview of the feature set that comes along with the passes and where those play into the subscription model. First, with passes, you sell them online. Imagine this, that you no longer are having to sell a physical pass in the pro shop. You can just advertise it to your customers via email or Facebook. Say, click this link. It takes them right to your online store, and they can sign up for a pass right now, just like they would if they were signing up for Netflix or Hulu. It's going to ask for their credit card. There's going to be a detailed description of what they're getting themselves into and why they should want it. And then all of that will be taken care of online. So no longer do you have to worry about selling that. The next one is trial periods. Manage the trial period that if you want to, like think about your Netflix and Hulu. I'm going to use these examples a lot because they pair really nicely, but you can say, sign up today, put your card on file, and you have the benefits of this pass for 7 days. However, at the end of the 7th day, billing is going to kick right in and you are going to be locked into a period. That's all controllable. 3, you can add or remove customers to groups. This is an awesome feature. Imagine, if you will, that you're selling this really awesome pass, the monthly pass to your members, and when they buy it, it adds them to a customer group. But imagine, if you will, and you use that group to market. So every month you're sending out promotions to your members, and that group is going to be clean and organized. But when a customer who holds that pass or subscription decides to cancel or their pass expires, the system is going to be smart enough to know to remove them from that customer group, which is really awesome. We didn't want you to have to do any of the thinking for that. So the system will take care of that for you, and you can trust that those groups are going to be organized and clean and structured the way you want them to be. 4, you can add and remove billing templates. So just like groups, you can add billing schedules. So if this pass is an annual pass that renews every year, that is the billing template that will be added. But if I, as a customer, choose to cancel that pass, it will actually remove that billing template when my minimum term has been met. 5, add and remove benefits. For those of you who are already using passes, you know the benefits that come with our pass module. The ability to say that during these very specific hours, this is the rate that the customer gets. And you know that when a customer tries to use a pass outside of those times, it doesn't work. You also know that pass holders can be given special booking privileges, whether it's they get extra days in advance that they can get premium tee times, or maybe it's just a discounted tee time or cart fee altogether. The choice is yours, and you can really customize it to meet your course's needs, which is really awesome. 6, minimum terms. We see this being a very popular feature amongst the courses who are choosing to go to this business model with the subscriptions, where they can say, if you're going to be a pass holder that provides you X, Y, and Z benefits for this every month, then we're going to require that you are a member for at least 3 months before you're eligible to cancel. Now, that doesn't mean that a customer can't go on after day one and cancel their membership. What it means is that that card on file that was used to buy the pass is going to be used for the next 3 billing cycles until they've canceled. Now, what would happen in the scenario I just described is on the 4th month, it wouldn't bill them and their membership would be over. It would remove them from their billing test scheduling, it would remove them from their customer groups, and it would be as if they were never a member of that. There will be a history that pass was on the customer's profile if there's ever questions though. 7, cancellation conditions. So paired very nicely with the minimum terms is the cancellation conditions. You can specify a number of days that have to be given before a pass can be canceled. So let's say I did set up a 3-month window or a minimum term. So I have to be a member for 3 months. I could say that they have to give me 30 days notice to cancel. So if I waited till the very last day to cancel, unfortunately, I'm going to be liable for another month's worth of the pass because I've set my cancellation notice to be 30 days. Again, what we don't want is for you to be fielding phone calls from customers who have questions about this. When a customer tries to cancel a pass online, it's going to be very clear on when their pass is going to be removed from their account. So if I have a 3-month minimum term and I try to cancel on day 1, it's going to say that, hey, you've successfully canceled your pass. It'll be active on your account until 3 days or 3 months from that date. So here's an example of the pass modules. For those of you who have never seen it, you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, you have a lot of settings to work with. What's really cool is it can be overwhelming, but you can really customize this to be your own. You see you've got your minimum terms, cancellation, you have age requirements. You also have on the right-hand side assignments. So essentially you can say, when I buy this pass, this is what it's going to assign this customer to, groups, billing templates. And this is just the beginning. We get lots of feedback that we're going to be implementing to this feature over the coming months that's going to take this to a whole nother level as well. You'll notice here that if you wanted to even give people charging privileges to their account, by being a pass holder, that is a benefit where you don't even need to have a card on file. You can just charge things to your account, and at the end of the month, it's going to bill them for all of that. And if you have auto pay required, you've just collected all that money. There is that mentality that if a customer doesn't have to whip out their credit card or cash to pay for anything, it's going to be easy for them to spend money. And that is absolutely true. So we've seen that time and time again with our courses. All right, this next slide is, I just kind of want to showcase a couple of screenshots. This is going to show you what your online store is going to look like. As you can see in my demo account, I've got about 5 different passes here that a customer can choose from. You can see here I've got my foreUP Club membership that's $45. I've got a paint night. I've got a senior membership. I've got a senior men's league, a spring men's league pass, and I have a junior punch pass. By clicking into these, I'm going to see a very detailed description of what the pass gives me, and that can be completely customizable by you. Terms and conditions that have to be agreed to before purchasing. And then, of course, if they choose to proceed through that, it's going to require a card on file so that you make sure that customers are paying you for the services. This next screen is what it would look like if I was an existing member with the pass. I log into my account, I navigate to the left-hand side and click My Pass. And from there, I could click in all of my existing subscriptions and manage those. You can see that it tells me when my next billing cycle is going to be. It tells me when it started. And if I had any terms and conditions, or it would have those listed out, as well as the ability to cancel my pass. So now we've talked about passes and that online experience, let's talk a little bit about Billing Premier. Billing Premier is what really controls the scheduling of all the charges. It's what controls the subscription, not the benefits, just the subscription. So here, we'll talk about the first feature that really is really cool about subscriptions is we'll coin it as anniversary billing. If I buy a membership or a subscription or a pass on the 23rd of the month, and this subscription is set to bill monthly, it's going to bill me every month on the 23rd, as long as I want, until I cancel, really. And that is a really awesome feature that comes. But if you want those things to be billed every first, you can do that as well. Number 2, email notifications. Billing is going to control the receipts. It's going to control communication in those regards as they pertain to auto payments and things of that nature. 3, it comes with a new online portal. So some of you may have noticed on the previous slide that user experience looked a little bit different. If you don't have Billing Premier, it is different. It's slicker. It provides your customers with the ability to manage payment methods better than before. It allows them to manage spending history. It allows them to print off receipts, email receipts that they have, so they're not calling into you. But ultimately, it's going to enhance that experience. One thing that I really like about the subscription management piece that a lot of courses have had concerns with over the past is when customers are like, well, I'm afraid that I'm going to require a card on file, but then the customer is just going to go online and remove the card. Well, the system is smart enough to know that they shouldn't let the customer do that. So if they have a recurring subscription attached to their profile, it will not let them remove the last applied payment method. They would either have to add a new one to remove the old one, or they would have to wait till their pass or subscription is canceled, which is really awesome. And it provides that peace of mind for you that your customers aren't just going to sign up, take advantage of a pass as benefits for the week they're on vacation in your area, and then cancel their pass. It just doesn't work that way, and remove their billing template. So let's move on to the next slide. So we've talked about passes, we've talked about billing, we've talked about the experience they provide when they're coupled together. But now the creating of a subscription, that's probably the hardest part. How do you know how to price it? How do you know that you're not providing too much value or selling your facility short? Or how do you know that customers are actually going to want to do it? First, I'd say that it's important to look at the average yearly spend by guest and understand what is that number and how many of our customers actually meet that threshold and how can we increase that. Once you understand those numbers, it's a good starting point to understand what you think customers would be willing to spend. We see a lot of courses start at the $30 a month range, and then they change it as time goes. Maybe thousands of people sign up for it, and you're like, okay, like this is good, but maybe we need to increase the price a little bit. I think it's also important to look at your underperforming areas on your T-sheet. You as an operator understand where and when those times are. So maybe tailor your subscription to help fill those times. If your Tuesdays are historically really slow, maybe this subscription says that on Tuesdays, golf is free for pass holders who pay $45 a month, and they get a free bucket of balls and they get a free beverage every time they come in. You know what it's going to take to get those golfers in. You know your golfers, and your account manager can really help you to understand how to build those scenarios out to meet the specific needs of your customers. Look at the non-golf underperforming areas. If you have a food and beverage operation that's just not being utilized as well, maybe your subscription says something along the lines of, for X amount of dollars every month, you get discounted tea times between the lunch hours. And if you golf during those times, you also get 50% off your food and beverage items minus your non-alcoholic beverages. It's entirely up to you, but find ways to get people at your facility and spending money in your operation. I know that a lot of operations don't want to discount tea times, and that's totally valid. You want to sell off a beer where maybe the overhead is just minuscule and you make profit no matter what. That is entirely up to you, and our pass system can give you that flexibility. So again, we could have an entire training in one of these seminar sessions on how to do this, but I wanted to make sure we covered the high level fundamentals of the subscription model. So be sure to reach out to your account manager if you have questions on how to set up a successful subscription. All right, so I mentioned that this project kind of took flight right before COVID, and we saw some explosive results from a lot of courses, and a lot of these courses were public golf courses and municipality courses. So we really just wanted to help bring in that private club experience to public members at an affordable price point, but without selling the golf course off or devaluing anything. So let's talk about some best cases and use cases that we've seen courses do. I would say the first and most popular way to jump into the subscription model is taking an annual pass and converting it into a monthly pass. Let's say that your annual pass is $1,200 a year. It's $100 a month if you were to divide that up. For me, I'm a mediocre golfer. I love playing. I love the social aspect, but a $1,200 pass is a little steep for me. That barrier to entry is just out of my limit of comfort. But I would be willing to pay a monthly premium to utilize the same benefits. So what we see a lot of public golf courses do is take that $1,200 annual pass and then divide it into monthly, but jack up the prices for a higher monthly premium. So instead of it being $100 a month, maybe you make it $150 a month and you get all the same benefits. You set your minimum terms to be 365 days, and then you can rest assured that that pass is going to be billed for 12 months before it can be canceled, and you're going to collect that money. But instead of only getting $1,200, you're now making $1,800. And somebody like me, I would feel more comfortable spending the $150 a month as opposed to the $1,200 up front. And if we kind of go back to the first slide, if I have an annual pass or a monthly subscription to your facility that I know I'm on the hook for a year, you better believe I'm going to use it, which means that I'm going to be at your facility. It means I'm going to be practicing. It means I'm going to be getting better at golf, which means I'm going to be playing more golf, which is what we want. We want more golfers, and more specifically, we want more golfers at your facility, which is going to be really stellar. 2, we see a lot of trial period subscriptions. I mentioned earlier that there is this opportunity to say there's a minimum period. Minimum period can kind of feel a little bit harsh, where it's like, if you sign up for this, you have to pay for this amount of time before you're eligible to cancel or remove your payment method. So we see courses do a trial period, which can be used in this way. I essentially am saying, if you pay for 3 months up front, we'll give you your 4th month free. Our system is fully capable of doing that. Essentially, you would sell a pass that was valued at 3 times the monthly value, and then you would tell the billing template to delay its billing until the 5th month. And at that point, it would kick in and start billing them a monthly charge until they canceled. There's a lot of awesome opportunities there. Just like your Netflix and Hulu subscriptions, you could even say, pay $50 up front and you get a trial for 7 days, and you can cancel, no minimum terms. But once that 7 days is up, it locks you in and it goes through the subscription model the way you've specified it. 3, value-added subscriptions. We see a lot of our more complicated operations or courses that want to increase revenue in underperforming areas use this model, where they provide discounted tee times during low occupancy, and then they provide added benefits with their subscription. One being they get a free bucket of balls every single time they come to golf, which is increasing their skill, which means they'll play more. Another thing that we see a lot of courses do is they offer incentives or benefits to other areas of the software or the operation. So whether it's 10% off all Pro Shop merchandise, that is an added benefit that's keeping them coming back to your facility. They're increasing their golf game by playing in the range. They're getting benefits or discounted tee times during distressed inventory times. So it's really just a benefit to you. And finally, they get a discount to spend money in your Pro Shop, so why wouldn't they? 100% controllable. And just a reminder, like if a customer cancels or their pass expires, or it's going to remove all those benefits and you'll never have to worry about them abusing it. The system's smart enough to handle that, which is what we want. You don't even have to think about it. So 4, a tiered subscription model. This is a more popular one that we see happen after courses that get their feet wet with 1 to 3 examples. They get a taste for what subscriptions can be, and then they start to kind of expand off of those. So we'll see courses say, here's a junior pass, and they set a requirement that says, in order to buy this pass, you have to be a certain age. And I mean, of course, if somebody comes into your facility and they are 60 years old and they are trying to use a junior pass, it's going to flag your team that something's off and you can approach them. But online, a customer should only be able to buy a pass that matches their age. So you could have your junior tier, you could have a senior membership subscription, or a public membership subscription. 5, then the last one, which I personally like the most, is a loyalty-based subscription. So imagine if you kind of took all of these and combined them into one, but you also rewarded them for coming to your facility. So what we've seen some of our high-end municipality courses do is they will say, you get this membership for X dollars every month. You get benefit to discounted tee times during distressed hours or low occupancy hours. You get discounts on food and merchandise. And to add, and you get free bucket of balls every day. And then to add, put the cherry on top, you say after every 10th visit, you're going to get a free gift card added to your account to be used digitally. And you as an operation can completely customize where and how long that gift card is valid. So maybe it's just a $10 gift card, But imagine this, that you have a membership you're paying monthly for, and you know that you're rewarded for every time you go there or every 10 times you go there. It's going to keep you coming back, and it's going to keep them spending money at your facility, because maybe a $10 gift card isn't going to buy them anything substantial, but it might help go towards something substantial at your facility that you otherwise wouldn't be able to sell. Again, I hope you've learned something from this presentation. There is so much more that could be covered, and that's where you're going to need to lean on your account manager to help build the right subscription model for your operation. I would highly recommend that if you haven't already looked into doing this, that you spend some time looking at it. See the pros and cons. How many of your customers are already pass holders, and how many of them do you think would be more likely to switch to a monthly? I can tell you this much, that we've seen great success. Courses that have implemented this have seen like really awesome results. And we know that it can work for you, but we don't know your operation the way you do. So our experts on our side, coupled with your knowledge, is really going to be an awesome pair. So I hope you learned something, and I'm excited for you to listen to the other user conference case studies, and have a wonderful day.